Oh god, oh god, oh god. While there isn't too many new interesting pictures, we're dealt with like 5 pictures. That's a week's coverage for the exciting new 3D land stage. This is NSBD. So the Smash Ball is back. That's something. Well, it's not really that big of a deal, seeing as we've seen footage of characters using their final Smash, so the Smash Ball being confirmed isn't really anything breathtaking. What is interesting to note, though, is Sakurai implies he is not going to do updates on Final Smashes, which is something I've been wondering about because we haven't seen any pictures yet. I've always been curious why there haven't been any Final Smash pictures, and I guess this is the reason. I am not too upset because I am not a huge fan of updates confirming something from Brawl that remains the same, and if Sakurai were to show the Final Smashes, it would be pictures that are as stupid as King Diddy's hammer. However, I really do hope we get screenshots showing the newer characters' Final Smashes, specifically the Villager, Mega Man, and Rosalina, seeing as we have no clue what they are yet. So I'm going to try to tackle this picture, well, these pictures, unscripted, because I feel it'd be easier with the sheer amount and how they all link together. It'd be hard to like write down my thoughts, and instead it'd be easier to just talk about it. I hope you can understand. Well, there's a Game Explained video that was posted a few days ago that pretty much sums up my thoughts. But, well, like, what's gonna be happening in it, you can check it out if you want. Just go to Game Explained's channel. They're a fascinating channel. But I'm gonna do my own take on these pictures. Well, firstly, the 3D lens stage is something I've always been curious about. Like, we've seen footage of it, like 2 separate things. I forget what specifically. I know one was in the trailer with like the ending with the skewers, and there's another one that showed that there's a 3D lens stage. I always assumed that these 2 stages were different. One was based off New Super Mario Bros. And one was Super Mario 3D Land, since the one with the skewers, which I'll show in a bit, kind of looks more New Super Mario Bros.y than 3D Land-y. But those are totally adjective, guys. But there was many theories saying they were linked, which made sense on my mind, so I'm not too surprised they're the same, because it would make sense not to have like 2 Mario platforming stages. But I really like this idea. Like, sure, we had the Mushroom Kingdom, which is side-scrolling, but this one, it changes like angles and how it works. Like, it's not always side-scrolling, which is something I'm a fan of. Like, one of my favorite, this stage mainly more reminds me of Mario Cruiser, where you like stay on one thing, then you climb up, then you side scroll, and then you go and loop around. It's similar to what this stage does. First you side scroll, and then you stay on one thing, then you go downhill, and then you do the last part. So let's go individually. I believe we've seen the first picture before. It seems pretty ordinary, like Mushroom Kingdom, except you could probably take 2 paths, one on the blocks and one on the bottom. It'd be good to like avoid enemies and stuff. Like, you could go on the bottom to like run away from someone you're scared of. The one thing I was a fan of in Mushroom Kingdom, I do hope they bring back our item blocks giving actual items. That was a really cool idea, and since this is another Mario Bros. Platforming stage, they should probably return that. Then there's the Valley stage. Game Explained seems to think that you just stay in one place and then jump over the platforms as they shake, which makes sense, but that'd be kind of boring. I kind of hoping, and it would kind of make sense if you like, this is a climbing segment, kind of like the part in Rainbow Cruiser where you climb up the platforms, and then you have to like jump up ones that will like tilt and cause you to fall. Though I doubt it, it will most likely stay the same. But I'm not sure how it'll transition to the third one, where you're going downhill. This one seems unique. Like, we always have climbing stages, but we have never had one where you just slide. I mean, that seems like a cool idea, and like, it will be interesting to see how it plays into smashing. Like, it's cool. It's a cool theory, but I have no idea how it will work into the gameplay. I know there's this like bottomless pit that you'll have to like get across, but like, we've never had anything where you slide, have we? So that's probably the most interesting one. And lastly, this last one is stuff we've seen in the first trailer already, where you're going over the ocean and you have to dodge skewers. That's where it comes. I don't recall these skewers ever being in New Super Mario Bros. In 3D Land. Only New Super Mario Bros. That's why I assume this was a New Super Mario Bros. Stage. But I guess they're just combining the two, like Mario platform aspects, and making it into one stage, which makes sense. We don't need two Mario platforming stages, as I said. But yeah, and also the only thing this picture confirms is that yes, this warp pipe brings you back to the beginning, which is something I'm kind of curious about. So, is it like auto you jump into the warp pipe, or is it like scrolling and you have to jump into the warp pipe before like the screen cuts off and you die? I'm sure you have plenty of time, but like once if you fall behind and then the screen like cuts you off. That reminds me again of Mushroom Kingdom, where like the part where you have to climb the blocks. Frequently me and my friends, one of us would get like left behind and wouldn't be able to climb in time, and we'd die off screen. So I'm curious how that's gonna work. Will you be like auto warped, kind of like the effects in 3D World whenever like someone goes into like a new area and then the others get warped? Or like is it if you don't jump in the warp pipe in time, you die? I guess it makes sense for the latter because it makes it more harmful, but it's kind of annoying. Oh well, that pretty much covers what I have to say. Another picture where I don't have much to talk about. It's just Rosalina sleeping, which is most likely her getting hit animation. It's cute and all, but it isn't anything interesting. Even though it is showing a veteran using a move they had before, this is still one of those pictures I like because it highlights how things changed for them. Diddy seems to be getting a lot stronger, but also a lot trickier to use. This time, the peanut pop gun is incredibly strong, but it seems to be more inaccurate. I'm not sure how I feel about this because the peanut pop gun was fine the way it was in Brawl and did not need to be rebalanced like it seems to have been now. It is interesting to note though that Sakurai never actually states that the pop gun is more inaccurate now. He just says it is tricky. Perhaps according to him, it was also tricky in Brawl, so that's why he's giving it the buff, and maybe it's not harder to use. But most likely he rebalanced it to be more high risk, high reward. I don't mind that with certain characters like Lucario, but how Diddy seems to be turning into is this for some reason. First with the rocket barrels, and now this. Our last picture of the day is Sakurai's trolling at the finest. When I first saw this picture on the Smash side, I assumed Phosphora was an assist trophy, which I was excited for. There are so many lively characters in Kid Icarus Uprising that I feel would fit into the new Smash Bros. Game, Phosphora included. Sakurai seemed to have been hinting that she was an assist trophy, but nope, she's just a trophy, which disappointed me. Even though pretty much every character in Uprising was amazing, Phosphora was one of the best, so they really should have made her an assist trophy. Oh well, this paves the way for even more important characters in that game to be an assist trophy. If Magnus is not playable, he will most definitely be an assist trophy. They could even get Pyron to be one too, though they'd have to get Troy Baker. For the picture itself, as I told Will last week, I'm not a fan of how they are showing pictures of trophies. If Sakurai is hesitant about showing final smashes because of the sheer amount, why is he showing trophies, which there are even more? There are so many trophies, we do not need pictures showing each and every one of them. It's just a waste of time. Well, that covers this week, though there wasn't really too much that's interesting. The 3D land stage surely made up for it, as there was a lot of detail revealed. We pretty much got a week's worth of pictures from that update, which was interesting, and that was fun to talk about. Anyway, I'll see you all next week, and stay tuned and subscribe for more discussion.